I don't believe we've met.
Oh, hello. I'm Lenora. Pardon me if I seem a little distracted at the moment. Everyone thinks I'm utterly balmy. Samantha thinks I'm potty. But it's this painting. I never noticed it before. If I know Hogwarts, and I do, an empty frame doesn't appear for no reason. There's something more to this.
Have you gained any insights about the painting since you've been studying it?
I did discover that casting Lumos has an effect of some kind. But I'm not sure what to do next.
Are there other empty paintings like this around the school?
Yes, a few. This entire place is somewhat of a riddle, to be honest. If I can work out the riddle of this one, I'll know what to do with all of them. As good a place as any to begin.
If I have the time, I may look. Could be intriguing.
I've been racking my brains long enough. I hope you'll have better luck than I have. Do come and find me if you stumble on something illuminating that solves the mystery.
Hello, Lenora. Could you remind me what's so special about that empty painting?
It's not necessarily special, as far as I can tell. Have a look if you're of a mind.
Personally, I think if the thing you're best at is herbology, it means you're soft-hearted.
Don't you find it chilly in the greenhouses? It always surprises me how cool it is.
I'm not looking forward at all to learning about the snodder. There's a reason that thing has thorns.
Lumos. That spot must be a clue. I should look around in case it's nearby. Revelio. Lumos.
I asked Ronan what he'd recommend for a Billywick stick, and he laughed and said, try not to be seen. I'm not funny at all. At least
I'm surprised they're allowed to bring them into class, though.
I think Howlin should be allowed to bring any beast she wants into class.
oh, wouldn't that be marvelous? Imagine if she brought in a unicorn. Oh.
I heard that Professor Binns died one night and showed up to class the next morning as if nothing had happened. I don't think he even knows he's a ghost. If we were simply taught antidotes to common poison, I truly think that would be enough to get us through life.
I suppose in all fairness, one should be prepared for anything.
I wish Hogwarts would teach us how to become animagi. They do at Wagadu. I'd be a niffler. Stock up on galleons.
Professor Weasley said she'd help me with my switching spells after class. I think she's tired of finding partially transfigured items about the classroom.
I bet all the answers to everything are in the restricted section.
Oh!
I think it should be a special treat in Year 5 that you get to go into it.
This looks like the location from the painting. What could be so special about it? Protego! Lumos. Let's get you back to your frame, little moth. I knew there was a connection. I should tell Lenora that I solved the puzzle of that empty frame. Revelio. Lenora, I solved the mystery of that painting.
You did? How?
I found the location depicted in the painting, and then I cast Lumos to guide a moth back to the frame.
All very logical, I suppose. Pity I was so close to solving it. You have a knack for solving riddles. Natty's good at that too. So is Amit, although he does tend to over-explain. Well, I'm glad someone figured it out. The moth! I should have seen that.
Slytherins almost always use the door to the right of the entrance hall.
Nothing worse than students practicing jinxes on each other in the common room. Can't take a step for fear of having your legs turn to jelly. Nothing to be learned at Hogwarts.
Revelio.
The last time I have a potion idea that I don't write down.
Oh, my exams. One of them deserves.
Paisley has a special knack. It's tormenting Professor Black.
Family American. I wonder if we could transfer to Ilvermorny and come back when he's gone.
How should be kept in all those pure blood families, like the Blacks? Wouldn't want riffraff running things. That's what my mother says.
Good thing Professor Weasley takes her role seriously, since Black clearly has no interest in him.
I'm glad there's a Slytherin in charge of the school, willing to make the hard decisions.
Black noticed the scuff on his shoe the other day, and would not give another second till a house elf polished it away for him. Horrid man.
I thought Professor Black would get beautiful in Muggleborn.
Revelio.
That young'un's now a teacher herself. It's a wonder she's not gobbled up by her own fanged geranium. Never forget what that awful book girl said in 1420.
Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
You should be more careful! Poor Ickle!
Is that all you've got?
Levioso! Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master. So, now the basic cast. Well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy. Protego. Complicated. It can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
Stupid. Don't hold your students for this again. Stupid. I do. Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down. Try to anticipate your opponent's next move.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Gryffindor.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right. That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
You drilled Sebastian. He's strong competition. Well done. Huh. Always thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Nice work.
Revelio. I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested. Till next time.
Revelio. Leviosa.
promise you, more teachers nod at you if you're holding a stack of books. I swear it's true.
Still have a bump on my head from herbology last week. The cotton fell out of my ear during a mandrake lesson. I came to with my head in an upturned plant pot.
I say, teach me everything going. In fact, if Hecate doesn't hurry up and teach me the Imperious Curse, I swear I shall get on that train and go home.
If we were simply taught antidotes to common poisons, I truly think that would be enough to get us through life.
I've been tempted to say I lost my wand just to get out of Weasley's assignments. How's that for transfiguration?
Do you think they'd actually bring in a Dementor for defense against the dark arts? What better way to learn, I say?
I can't seem to master the Wiggenweld potion. Perhaps my stirring technique's a bit off.
I wish Hogwarts would teach us how to become Animagi. They do at Wagadu.
Bit of snot on your nose. Thought you'd want to know.
Since when should it matter what anyone looks like? Surely it's about...
Revelio.
I accidentally dropped a flobberworm down my robes and potions once. You'd think I'd been hit with Tarantallegra the way I was prancing. Mortifying it was.
Do you think I have a big torment?
Revelio.
The
It's been ages since I've sent an owl back home. My father will be worrying. Perhaps next week.
My mother always responds to my owls very well.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to finish the lesson.
Some of us don't necessarily want him to get back to the lesson.
Leviosa! Revelio. Leviosa! Tego! Lumos.
Here! Behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me. I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will, but instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far as possible, but not a bit more, or it will fall, yes? Very good. Splendid! Excellent control there. Not to worry. Very good. Points to Gryffindor. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Lisa. There we go.
That's it!
Let us see this. how it's done. Everyone's watching, but try not to be nervous. You are doing quite well.
Happens to the best of us. Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Watch this. There we go. Not exactly your typical lesson, is it?
Don't lose your composure.
Let us see this.
Very good.
Here we go.
That is how it's done. Do not think I will start going easy on you now.
Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Well done back there. You took the loss in stride. Didn't want to go too easy on you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Ouagadougou just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Ouagadougou much bigger than Hogwarts?
Ouagadougou School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Ouagadougou a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Ouagadougou uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand.
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans, if you're so inclined.
Well, you'd be using it on clothing, to be precise, Sebastian. You know it won't work on humans.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
After my brother learned the summoning charm, it was constant Accio this, Accio that. Cutlery flying everywhere. Quite unsafe, really.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? Miss Onai is a talented witch. Take it in stride. One often gains the most from the battles one has lost.
Of course, Professor. It was a challenging match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello. You wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
Something so peaceful about the
And then the werewolves joined the goblins in the uprising.
Werewolves, where were you? In the Goblin Rebellion of 1750?
And by the end of it, the Minister for Magic was Albert Rufus.
No, it wasn't.
What are you up to now?
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived. I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
I'm not sure I have time for extra assignments, Professor.
You shall find the time. You'd be astonished to know just how much you don't know. In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
Can you tell me more about the potion shop, Professor?
J. Pippin's Potions stocks a wide array of potions ingredients, although they rarely sell recipes. Professor Sharp asked that they have a couple of particular recipes on hand for you.
There's an Ollivander's in Hogsmeade.
There is. Most people are familiar with the shop in Diagon Alley. We're fortunate to have someone like him nearby. Mr. Ollivander is a genuine craftsman and highly skilled wand maker. I would trust no one else to pair me with a wand.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
I'd like to go with Natty.
Excellent choice. Miss Onai is one of our most talented students. And she knows the area. She'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Ah, there you are. Whilst I'm impressed by your wand...
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor?
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo. Fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells outside of class in an effort to catch you up with your peers. A number of your professors have agreed to do so as well, but first, each shall ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today. See them through and then report back to me. We will have you casting Reparo in no time.
Why must I first complete tasks to learn Reparo?
No lesson or lecture can compare to first-hand experience. And these tasks should provide you with just that. Such experience is invaluable when mastering any new bit of magic.
I'll start on the task right away, Professor. Professor, why must I complete these tasks?
They are meant to give you first-hand... Good luck.
This is the right area. I wonder where the flying page is. Page must be around here somewhere. Brilliant!
If only a new student were to help me with my sad predicament.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak. The girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Everyone hates you? Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
Gobstones? Sounds like a fun challenge.
That's what I tried to tell everyone. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Rather an overreaction on their part.
I'll say. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented fifth year to help me.
Do you have any suggestions on how to get your gobstones down from their hiding spots?
If I knew that, I'd get them myself. Whoever hid my gobstones that high got up there somehow.
Haven't you any friends at school?
Not really. Natty said hello once, but not a word since.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
Revelio.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
I completed the assignments, Professor.
Marvelous. You clearly know your way around basic charms. Let us give the old mending charm a try then, shall we? Remember to be deliberate in your enunciation and movements. I want to see some vigor. Now, wand at the ready.
Yes, sir.
Remember, your wand is a conduit of your magic. That's it! Very good. If you would like to practice mending something, have a go with that broken statue in the alcove by the water. It allegedly symbolized heartbreak. Perhaps a jilted lover thought it too accurate and lashed out.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
Reparo.
Nicely done. Works like a charm, doesn't it?
Revelio. It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
Wouldn't mind being a cat. Or a rock.
You can get all sorts.
Revelio.
I'll be weeks from Spintwig.
Revelio.
Sometimes I wish I needed a new wand, just so I'd have an excuse to visit Ollivander.
I had found Cox being attacked by that.
I'd like to do some window shop on Cox.
Revelio.
Life seems rather dull in the house. I'd much rather live in a big city like London.
I could just have a proper bed.
Revelio. To finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
How much longer do you think Black will be headmaster? Why is that?
Revelio.
How many owls do you think Hogwarts has?
I can't imagine receiving a howl.
Certainly sound like you have an opinion on this.
I haven't said.
You should hear Shah talking about divination.
It's a wonder own ideas don't
I tried doing homework in the dormitory last night.
Revelio.
Those beds are simply too comfortable.
Snore. I shall need a sleeping drug to get a good night's sleep if it keeps up.
We have annoying.
She put a bow truckle under my bed, and I know it's her.
Revelio.
Hogwarts hasn't been the same since Black took over. Lucky for us, we have Professor Weasley.
Hello, looking for me?